Hi, my name is Anita Dolan. I'm a literacy interventionist and the school-based instructional facilitator at St. Walburg School. The pictures for this webinar on assessment and evaluation come from St. Walburg School. Assessment and evaluation require thoughtful planning and implementation to support the learning process and to inform teaching. There are three interrelated purposes of assessment. Each type of assessment, systematically implemented, contributes to an overall picture of an individual student's achievement. Assessment for learning involves the use of information about student progress to support and improve student learning, inform instructional practices, and occurs throughout the teaching and learning process using a variety of tools. It engages teachers in providing differentiated instruction, feedback to students to enhance their learning, and information to parents in support of learning. A specific example of assessment for learning from our primary PLC team is a phonemic awareness assessment we have all of our grade 1, 2, and 3 students complete in order to create small groups for targeted skill instruction. We reassess students monthly and track our data on a Shared School Connect icon to ensure our groups are each receiving the instruction they need. Two other tools we use as ongoing assessment screens are RAS benchmark books and SightWord Dolch tests. Assessment as learning actively involves student reflection on learning, monitoring of his or her own progress, and is student-driven with teacher guidance. At St. Walburg School, we have found many of the Daily 5 strategies to be especially helpful when teaching students to self-reflect regarding their reading ability. Understanding what a good fit book is, how to cross-check, and what fluent reading sounds like gives students the power to take control of their own learning. It is essential that students set their own reading targets, and equally important that students know what the target skills are. Assessment of learning involves teachers' use of evidence of student learning to make judgments about student achievement. It occurs at the end of a learning cycle using a variety of tools and provides the foundation for discussions on placement or promotion. At our school, we have worked diligently on training teachers to use the Fountas and Pinnell benchmark assessment system 3 times per year with as much reliability and consistency as possible. We are very proud of how we have come together as a staff to work on reading skills in every subject at every grade level. This year we used our benchmark data to create a literacy wall in the staff room for grades 1 to 9. The wall has been used to both identify students in need and to celebrate student success. The SaskReads document outlines the following 4 essential principles of assessment. Firstly, assessment involves a balanced approach that is planned and purposeful. Secondly, assessment informs instructional decisions. Thirdly, assessment focuses on individual students in order to differentiate instruction. And finally, assessment begins and ends with curriculum. Triangulation of data involves collecting evidence from different sources, including products, conversations, and observations. This includes qualitative and quantitative assessment data. Assessment serves different purposes at different times. In our school, you will find teachers observing students read to self, noting stamina, watching students read to each other, listening to students read during small group guided reading, checking for reading strategies known and not known, as well as reading fluency. The products we look at include running records, phonics work, sight word studies, and writing about reading. We strive to engage in daily conversations with students surrounding their comprehension skills and self-reflection strategies. Many of us use an evaluation binder to house our observations, online tools such as Evernote to store pictures of final products, an electronic pensive to track running records, or computer programs such as Audacity to record reading or conversations. Assessment and instruction are inseparable. Information gathered through assessment informs day-to-day instructional decisions. We use our assessment to form RTI groups, LLI groups, and classroom reading groups. We share our data and goals with our SLP and OT specialists to ensure the most current, responsive instruction possible. Assessment is a collaborative process involving students, teachers, and caregivers. Students need to be aware of expectations and be provided with timely, descriptive feedback. Feedback is focused on areas of strength and opportunities for growth. This year, our grade 1, 2, and 3 teachers held student-led parent-teacher interviews, which were preceded by self-assessments and teacher feedback. The students rose to the occasion and were more than willing to voice what they knew about being a reader and what they had to work on to become a better reader. Curricular outcomes provide the starting point for instruction. Diagnostic assessment informs differentiation required for individual students to achieve outcomes. The Saskatchewan Reads document also includes sample reading rubrics, which are adapted from the Saskatchewan ELA curriculum. Continuous gathering of assessment and using multiple methods of meaningful, authentic tasks in real reading situations tracks students' learning over time and is essential in developing a comprehensive picture of student learning. The following are examples of assessment tools: anchor charts, portfolios, running records, anecdotal records, level benchmark assessment, and rubrics. We have found it especially valuable to spend some PLC time examining each other's best assessments and sharing our most successful ways to assess students. See the SaskReads document for even more ideas you can use as sources of evidence when assessing student reading.